Good morning and happy Wednesday here on Up with KREM. I'm Regan Gallo. Tim Pham has the day off today. This morning we continue to track those wildfires that have devastated our local communities here in Spokane and Stevens County. We have Jenny here who has been tracking the weather as well as that air quality. Jenny, I know you said it's improving maybe a little bit, but we still have a long way to go. What should people know as they get their day started?
Yeah, that's right, Regan. Well, as we take a look here across the region and a live look outside right now, that thick blanket of smoke is still across our Spokane skyline. Taking a look at some of our current air quality conditions, we've seen some slight improvement overnight for parts of Spokane and Coeur d'Alene as we are currently in the unhealthy for sensitive groups range. But where some of the worst air quality is at this morning is actually south to Walla Walla and out towards Chelan and parts of the Meadow Valley. So we've seen worse air quality toward the central part of the state. All the areas shaded in red here experiencing unhealthy air quality so far this morning. So this is going to be the really widespread concern here for the day today as we move forward. And it's why we're under this weather impact alert for the day today, because when we reach these unhealthy levels, that's when it impacts everyone here, especially when we climb even further into the very unhealthy air quality category. It's why we have these widespread air quality alerts in place until further notice, as we're still going to be experiencing this reduced air quality over the next couple of days here. 58 degrees is our current temperature in Spokane, yet winds remain light. So that's the best news when it comes to firefighting efforts for the day today. However, they're still going to be facing mostly dry conditions and even warmer temperatures this afternoon. Highs in Spokane into the upper 80s to even low 90s further on this late afternoon and into early evening. Over the coming days, though, our focus on Friday and Saturday is going to shift to, again, breezy winds picking back up. The full timing of this, though, and what you need to be prepared for coming up in my extended forecast. Now let's also get a look at some of the latest evacuation maps here, because we have seen part of level 3 evacuations actually downgraded. That includes for parts of the Old Trails fire. As we look into parts of Spokane just north of Airway Heights, we've seen that downgraded to a level 2. We've also now seen some level 2 evacuations that downgraded north of Francis but south of 5 Mile Prairie Road, as well as along Woodside, and this even expands there to North Division. So we are seeing some of that improvement. However, we still have those level 3 go now evacuations for the Autumn Lane fire a little bit further north. It extends as far north as Wild Rose Road in Spokane County, and over in Stevens County, similar evacuations remain in place. A reminder that parts of Highway 291 are still closed because of fire activity, so you will have to find another route. And a reminder to also, under these level 3 evacuations, stay out of these areas as crews continue to work. Regan?
Jenny, thank you so much. Such critical information as we continue to track the fires here. Altogether, the Spokane Area Fires have burned more than 10,500 acres. Let's take a look at the specifics between the two fires crews are still working to stop that progress on. The Old Trails fire on the northwest side of Spokane has burned more than 3,600 acres. Fire crews say they're making some steady progress on this one, which I was at that briefing yesterday morning, and I can report officials were very positive when getting their crews ready for the day ahead. Now, the Autumn Lane fire up in the 9 Mile area is the largest of the three. It has burned about 5,600 acres. Emergency services are asking for people to stay off Rudder Parkway. And currently now we do have meteorologist Kim Castro, who is joining us live. She has been getting closer and closer to those fire crews and fire lines this morning near the Autumn Lane fire. Kim, tell us where you're at now this morning, and as you're assessing what the crews are doing as well as that fire behavior out there, what should people know as they get their day started?
Yeah, Regan, good morning. As Jenny has been warning about, lots of smoke out here for the early morning hours, and it is a double-edged sword. Of course, for folks, it's imperative that you're not spending time outside, and I gotta tell you, while I'm out here right now, it is only for a brief time. I'm talking to you for about a minute and a half, then I'm right back in the car. So it is unhealthy for people to be out here. However, for the firefighters, they're actually taking advantage of the smoky conditions on the ground. Why? Because it adds like a lid, like a weight on the fire, keeping keeping it down close to the surface. So firefighters don't have to worry about what's behind them as much. The fire isn't racing up these trees. Instead, it is burning slowly. It is to a crawl on the ground, and that allows for better assessment of the true perimeter of the fire. So that's what crews are doing this morning. They're looking at ground conditions, trying to establish where in fact they can start to create that line, where to establish the dozers, where to create the break from the fire line as to what's ahead from the structures that they're trying to protect. Now, I will say, don't be discouraged by the fact that there's still 0% containment. When speaking with the Incident Command Post, California District 7, that's in charge of these 3 fires, they did mention that this is a strategy. So they're going around the fires, trying to determine where the true line is. And in the coming days, as in today, tomorrow, and Friday, they will finally start to get some containment on the ground. They've introduced new personnel to get this going. So this morning, there are now 13 to 1,400 firefighters fighting this fire. This is up from 300 compared to this time yesterday. And by the end of the week, they're going to have 2,000 firefighters. So there are resources that are headed here now, and they are working on the ground to get this fire line contained. Regan.
Kim, thank you so much. Also, this afternoon, Spokane City and county leaders will hold a press conference to update everyone on the resources available for fire victims. We expect to hear from the Spokane Mayor, County Sheriff, Emergency Management, and Fire Command. Among others, we will bring you their announcement live at 1 o'clock on KREM and the KREM 2 app. And as crews continue to fight these fires on the ground and in the air, the Spokane County Sheriff and the Department of Natural Resources is urging people to stop flying near the fires using those drones. There are temporary flight restrictions in place. Despite that, though, DNR says there have been more than 40 unauthorized drones spotted over the Spokane area fires. Officials say if you fly, then aircraft can't. And every time firefighting aircraft are grounded, that's more time fires have to grow.
We are done playing games with this. We have fires that are growing, and our firefighters need all the help they can get. All of these task force officers, they are federally deputized with the FBI, so they do have arrest authority from the federal government. And again, if this keeps happening, we will exercise that.
Now, the Spokane County Sheriff John Knowles says the FAA is handing violators $100,000 fines, and criminal charges are possible too. And the man accused of intentionally setting the Old Trails fire faced a judge for the first time on a felony arson charge. The judge set 37-year-old Aaron Fernacci, bail at $1 million. His arraignment is set for tomorrow afternoon. Records show he's already a felon, and we'll have more on his previous convictions coming up in about 30 minutes. Also this morning, we are tracking election results in Washington state's primary election. There are still a lot of votes to be counted, so it could be several days before all these races are decided. In Washington's 5th congressional district, which includes Spokane, the AP is saying that the incumbent Republican Michael Baumgartner will move ahead to November. He will either face Democrat Carmela Conroy, who he defeated in 2024, or independent Nate Powell, who is currently in 3rd. And also, let's take a closer look at this race at the county level. You can see Baumgartner has the lead in every county in the 5th district, including Spokane, Stevens, and Whitman counties. And then in the 4th district congressional race, the AP is calling that Republican Amanda McKinney and Democrat John Dureski will advance to the November election. One of them will replace the longtime Representative Dan Newhouse, who did not run for re-election. And taking a closer look at the Spokane County Auditor. This is the person who oversees elections. The current auditor is retiring after serving 7 terms. Right now, Democrat Kelly Gee is leading to Republican candidates Michael Cathcart and Dale Whittaker are battling to move on to November. And in the West Plains, voters are currently saying no to an aquifer measure. It would have created a new fee to help fund groundwater monitoring, research, and public education in parts of western Spokane County. Now you can see the latest election results through the morning at the ticker at the bottom of your screen. And watch out for some construction on the Freya Street overpasses starting today. This is a look at the area that will be impacted just south of Spokane Community College The southbound lanes of Freya Way and Street will be closed between Mission and Broadway, and those northbound lanes will be reduced to one lane. That detour is in orange here on your screen.